Good morning. Thank you for being here today. Weeks ago, when the body-worn camera footage of a Salt Lake City police officer directing a canine to bite Mr. Jeffrey Ryans came to light, like many, I was troubled and concerned. As chief of the Salt Lake City Police Department, I am accountable to this community. I have concerns when force may have been used inappropriately. Growing up, I was always taught that actions speak louder than words. It is my responsibility to do the right thing when these incidents are brought to my attention. Today, I'm announcing that we have conducted an internal affairs audit of the use of force in our canine apprehension program back to 2018 so far. And we have found a number of cases we believe merit further review and investigation. Today, those cases have been referred to the District Attorney's Office, the Department's Internal Affairs Unit, and the Civilian Review Board. We will continue this audit to ensure that all dog bite incidents within the past 4 years are reviewed. Here are the facts that we know now. In 2020, there have been 11 Salt Lake City PD canine bites, 9 of which we are referring for investigation. In 2019, there were 10 Salt Lake City Police Department canine bites, 5 of which we are referring for investigation. And in 2018, there were 6 Salt Lake City PD canine bites, 4 of which we are referring for investigation. In total, we have reviewed 27 canine bites, and we are referring 18 for investigation. The officers involved in these cases, consistent with department practice, have been placed on administrative leave pending the outcomes of this investigation. Furthermore, the Salt Lake City Police Department's canine apprehension program remains suspended indefinitely. Because these incidents are of important public concern, we will release the body-worn camera footage within 10 business days from today. I love the people of this city, and I know our officers do too. Which is why it's unfortunate that I am standing here delivering this news to you today. Our department is built upon 5 core values: character, compassion, courage, commitment to the community, and communication. Those values are never more important than today. As I said earlier, actions speak louder than words. That is why I'm here before you today to be honest and transparent about not only what we have found, but how we intend to move forward. Trust is something that is earned. It is not given. As a department, we recognize when trust is lost, it requires even more hard work to get it back. I truly believe in our commitment to the community, and I know through self-examination and change, along with the dedication of all our employees, we will build a better department, a better city, and a better community. Thank you. Council Chair Chris Wharton will be next. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. So the council's been made aware of the situation. We have not had a chance to view all of the footage yet. However, we highly value that the mayor is fulfilling her duty to the public in Salt Lake City to carefully examine how taxpayer policing resources are being deployed and to make changes to the city's approach as needed. The City Council expresses support for the administration's emphasis on accountability, equity, and transparency in policing in Salt Lake City. As a city, we've seen our share of concerns about policing. We want to encourage police officers as individuals, groups, as a full department, or as an entire profession to be the people who demonstrate that there are better ways to keep the community safe. The power to change the face of policing is within the heart and mind of every single police officer. We encourage the police profession to be a very active part of building a policing system that values human life, that respects differences, and does not tolerate discrimination or appropriate use of force, and one that is fair for every individual in our city. We want to thank the officers who work long hours and still make it their mission to model calm and deliberate behavior. We appreciate all the officers who steadfastly insist that there is no circumstance when it is appropriate for an officer to administer punishment in the field, that the justice system is responsible to meter out those types of consequences. We invite all those officers who know the value of de-escalation to continue their commitment and to be a part of the change that communities around the country want to see more of. Thank you.
Hello. I'm standing here today with a heavy heart and a determined mind. Salt Lake City government will not sit and wait to see what we can improve. I am not afraid. We are not afraid. Even when the reality of our actions may bring heartbreak and disappointment to the good people of this department, Salt Lake City Corporation, and to the public that we serve. We will not tolerate an abuse of power that harms the people we serve and harms the reputations of our good officers who are dedicated to serving in a fair, accountable, and a transparent way. That is why we're standing here before you today. Our city's referral for investigation of 18 canine cases from the past 2 years represents our concern that what has gone on in the recent history of the Salt Lake City Police Department's canine apprehension program is a pattern of abuse of power. We're going to do what's right, we're going to do what's just, and we're going to be open and transparent as we go about this work. I truly believe that sunshine is the best disinfectant, and we're here today to shine a light on this stain in our department. Chief Brown's actions to proactively conduct this audit. Let me say, not only has Chief Brown worked to put reforms in place that better protect our public and our officers, he's the only chief in this state that I'm aware of who's also willing to look back when no one's asking him to do so and say, let's see what we may need to be accountable for that no one's asked us to yet. That's leadership. That's the leadership that we need to get through this. That initiative is also reflective of our intent, not only to correct this abuse of power, to make sure, though, that it never happens again. As Chief Brown said, the cases we are transmitting to the district attorney for criminal investigation will also be reviewed by the CRB and the Internal Affairs Department. And the department's canine apprehension program is suspended indefinitely. As much as a swift and permanent termination of the program may seem necessary, I am not willing to make that decision without the information that we need to know if such an action may actually result in unintended consequences that are contrary to our work of improving the outcomes of policing for the public and our officers. We are doing that research now. We're looking at communities across the country who've made such decisions and also at canine programs that are appropriately administered. We'll determine at a later date the viability of a reformed canine apprehension program for Salt Lake City. The officers responsible in these cases are on leave while this matter is pending, and I am committed to ensuring that this is investigated as quickly and as thoroughly as is possible. Victims in these cases should contact the district attorney's office as we have handed this over. I'm working hand in hand with the City Council on their commitment to codify transparency and accountability in all critical use of force incidents. We're going to use our city's legislative and our administrative tools to eliminate any culture in this department that's accepted behaviors like this. And we're going to promote the trusted and accountable law enforcement that I believe most of our officers come here to work. I know that our police department has many officers who are committed to serving and protecting everyone in this city humanely and equitably under the law. At the same time, if we are to produce a police department that is always transparent, accountable, and fair, we must be willing, and we are willing, to see where we have done harm, to fix it, and to ensure that it never happens again. None of us should be afraid to build to do a better job. The culture of abuse that we seem to see in these canine incidents ends now. And through the policy changes that we put into place on September 5th and are training on currently, I'm confident that no use of force will ever go unreported to the appropriate chain of command again. The culture of an organization is shaped by the worst behavior a leader is willing to tolerate. We're here to tell you that this culture ends here and now. We are better than this. Our residents deserve better than this. And I know that the many officers of Salt Lake City Police Department who are committed to truly serving and protecting will agree with this. We will work tirelessly to rebuild your trust, Salt Lake City, and we will never tolerate such abuse of power again.